Okay, Shalom Akim, Kahalan Mla Yahabashim Yashabashim Hakudash and double honest games and apostles. Thought they have thought they try for the strength in order to make this video and Yarasazar. That this also helps to build up your knowledge and this helps to also encourage your spirit, man. To increase faith in Yahabashim Yasha. So this is the part 2 to the Revelation 13 breakdown, and it will be from verses 11 up to verse 18. But prior to that, I want to mention as a supplementary type of point, a point to supplement, to support the previous part 1, where I mentioned about I'm gonna read. It's really focused on verse 6 and verse 7, man. So I'm gonna read that, then I'm gonna talk on it because that really goes into when Esau fell with his pagan Roman Empire. I was speaking on it, but I just wanted to have more clarity in this video. So Revelation 13 and verse 6. It says, "And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against the Most High, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle, and to them that dwell in heaven." Verse 7, and it was given unto him to make war. It was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And of course, the Most High gave him the power, Esau gave him the power to then overcome us. Now, what that is referring to is the time where he dominated over us. Essentially, okay, we'll break it down this way from here. Pagan Roman Empire, that's how it started off as. Where Esau was put in, it was in his strength, then, which is after the Greek Empire, of course. That ended around 476 AD. Then from 476 AD, come in with the Byzantine Empire, the so-called Dark Ages, the Holy Roman Empire. That same time period, that was when Israelites, people who looked like us, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, were ruling, in that time period, man. So during that time of ruling, that was between 476 AD to about 1453, close to the start of the 1500s. That was the 1,000 years, because if you actually calculate it, 1453, or even let's say near the latter end of 1400s, you will get a number close to 1,000. Let's get hold on. So 1476, the fall of the pagan Roman Empire, which is the Western Roman Empire. That's another way of calling it. And let's say 1476. No, let's say first of all, because you go minus it. So when was it again? 1453 minus 476. You get around 977 years. So that was a time where Esau was in the caves, man. 977 years. If you really want to add a bit more to that, get into the latter parts of the before the 15th century. Before the 16th century, which is the 1500s. Before that started, because the 1500s was when Esau started to take over again. So after the Dark Ages, the Byzantine Empire, the Holy Roman Empire, which is the Eastern Roman Empire, that was the period where Jake ruled. After the 1500s, that's when Esau ruled, which it makes sense as well, because considering with the British Empire coming into play as well from the 1500s too, you can see all of that, Christopher Columbus as well, all of that information, the conversion to Christianity, the worlds to Christianity, all of that was the beginning of Esau, the Most High raising up Esau, for his purpose within the scriptures here. So I just wanted to mention that point, previously. So that was a focus on Revelation 13 verse 6 and to verse 7. Another one about the 1,000 years. Let's get Revelation 20. Revelation 20 and verse. I'm gonna just go straight to the point. Actually, verse 1 to 2. So Revelation 20 verse 1. "And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit." That angel is referring to Yahushua. The bottomless pit is Europe, by the way. "And a great chain in his hand, and he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent," referring to these Edomites, and it says, "which is the devil, and Satan, so called the adversary, the deceiver, and bound him 1,000 years. So that bounding of 1,000 years was that period from the fall of the pagan Roman Empire, the Western Roman Empire, up to the point where up to the point before the 1500s started, which between the 1400s and the early 1500s, that was the transition into Esau, then starting to get into rulership again, and then Jake, of course, getting chained down. So he was chained for 1,000 years during that time. That was the 1,000 years, 476 AD to about 1453, which was the downfall of the Byzantine Empire, man. Which again is all when Israelites were ruling the whole Roman Empire, and Dark Ages. So that's just to get some clarity on that. That was their 1,000 years. So that's Revelation 20 and verse 2, where it says, and bound him 1,000 years. So of course Esau's limited. Alright, so let's continue with the breakdown. This is verse 11 now. Revelation 13 and 11. And of course, hold on. Another point as well, with Babylon the Great, of course, being part of the NATO and the EU system, B system. Trump also mentioned about there being a 250-year or semi-quintessential year, a celebration throughout the whole year in 2026, because the 2026, that's when it's going to be around 250 years for the Empire of America, or for America to be in rule, because I think it was 1776. That was the independence. That was the independence of America. And then if you do 2026, well, I'm trying to make the calculation here. If you do, because the average research, the average length of an empire is 250 years. And 2026, considering when 1776 was the Declaration of Independence of America, up to 2026, that time period there is 250 years, as you can see. So 1776 and 2026 right there, it will be 250 years. So Yaratazar, you can see that properly. So 250 years will then be the pinnacle of it. So don't be surprised when the Most High could have everything just rolling as soon as 2026 hits, if it be so that we're still here. To let Esau have that fullness of his sufficiency. Which I'm going to get that preset right now. Yaratazar. When he reaches his pinnacle, and the Most High is going to slap that, he's going to slap that authority out of Esau, man. Sufficiency. Yaratazar can get the precept. Job 20 and 22, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits, a position of difficulty. That's what straits means. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. So, of course, that fullness of sufficiency, it can easily be in 2026, man. It would make sense, because that's the pinnacle of their empire, being 250 years. And Trump saying he's going to do an all year long celebration. Also, I could just surprise them, when they say peace and safety, then sudden destruction. So that's just another point of which, Mosai is going to start punishing Babylon. But anyways, verse 11, Revelation 13 and 11, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. So, of course, it says another beast coming up out of the earth. That, where it says, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, that those 2 horns from that other beast is really talking about America with the Democrats and the Republicans. Those are the 2 parties represented by the 2 horns in this case here. So it says like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. So where it says 2 horns like a lamb, is 2 horns like a lamb and spake as a dragon. That's talking about the contrast, where it's like he appeared to be peaceful, but when he spoke as a dragon, which means he spoke those strict, draconian, wicked measures. Hence the scriptures talk about wicked decrees, man. Let me get down quickly too. So Just bear with me. Just wait. Wicked decree. Just hold on, man. Sometimes you look for a precept and it don't come up. Alright, let's see. So wicked decrees. Hold on. Decrees. Alright, so let's get Isaiah 10 and verse 1 to 3. Okay. Because, with all these Republicans, Democrats, it's like whatever side you darn vote for is still part of the same darn beast, the same darn system, man. Where they have an agenda. So that's the illusion that people are under right now. So Isaiah 10 and verse 1. Hold on, what's going on now? Isaiah 10. Let's get that. So this is Isaiah 10 and verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. That's prescribed by the Democrats and the Republicans, man. Nevertheless, because they have an agenda to fulfill, which is obviously to control people with this MOTB, this chip implant. So, that's what it means where it says 2 horns like a lamb and he spake as a dragon. Because, again, Isaiah 10 and verse 1 says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees. Those unrighteous laws, unrighteous decrees are from, the American system, man. American laws being instituted, which really is unfairness onto Jake. But, of course, 2 horns like a lamb, again, Democrats, Republicans, they appear peaceful, but really when they speak, it's strict and wickedness. So that's the point right there. Isaiah 10 and 1 supports that. So Revelation 13 and 12, he exercises all the power of the first beast before him, referring to the Roman Empire, and causeth the earth and them that dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. So as we referred to in the part 1 about the deadly wound being healed, which that's mentioned again in verse 3. So Revelation 13 and verse 3. That deadly wound being healed is talking about America being revitalized. Well, really Rome coming back, but as America. That's what it means right there. So in he exercises all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. So of course, that's what I was talking about, giving reverence to Rome again, but via America. So verse 13, and he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven and on the earth in the sight of men. Remember the time when they released the atomic bomb on Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Japan. That right there was a wonder, which surprised the world. And it happened in, it says, I'm going to read it here. Atomic bombings of Hiroshima, Nagasaki, which is in Japan. It says 6 August 1945. On August 6, 1945, the United States dropped an atomic bomb on the city of Hiroshima. The bomb was known as Little Boy, a uranium gun-type bomb that exploded with about 13 kilotons of force. At the time of the bombing, Hiroshima was home to 290,000 civilians, as well as 43,000 soldiers. So that was Esau's doing, man. Let me show the camera. That right there was Esau's doing. So you can read that right there. 6 August 1945. So I'm going to read the precept again. Revelation 13 and 13. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire, come down from the heaven on earth in the sight of men. So that's talking about that atomic bomb that he released, man. As we can see right there, that explosion. See if I can click on it. Yep, that's the explosion right there, man. Hiroshima, Nagasaki. That's it right there. So that was the wonder which surprised the whole world. It says, great wonder so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. Verse 14, and deceiveth them that dwell on earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. Those miracles are referring to the technology that the Most High has given him. The knowledge and the technology that the Most High has given him in order to, surprise people, of course. And influence them, entice them. Again, through the means of those miracles, aka his technology, which he had power to do in the sight of the beasts, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live. So it says that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound of the sword and did live. So that again is referring to America being America is the image of the Roman Empire. Hence why that's really the reflection of it. That, as I said before, America is that wound that was healed because Rome came back through America, spiritually speaking. So verse 15, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. Again, image of the beast is just reference to America imitating the ways of Rome. Hence why it's the image of the beast. That's America. That the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So of course, those who don't take the microchip, which is obviously the ultimate form of worship, to the image of the beast, again referring to America imitating the ways of Rome, reverencing the Roman ways. The point being is those who don't take the microchip implant, they will be killed. That's the point. So verse 16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. So, as it says, he causeth all, which means he'll put people in a position. He's going to institute laws here and there. You can't pay cash no more in shops. You can't pay card anymore. You can't pay with your phones no more. You have to take a darn implant in order to make payments. You put people in a position where they have to take it. But realistically, they don't have to. For those of us in the truth, we know we don't have to because we have Yahweh Hashem Yashai who provides us. Remember the scripture, man shall not live by bread alone. That's another one right there. So of course, through our faith in Yahweh Hashem Yashai, we know we'll be fine. And Yaratazah, that we will reject it in that time too. And we have to meditate upon things such as our lives being taken away from us, dying, and of course having to endure whatever affliction we need to endure to maintain that state of rejection, man. Because it's not just going to be for one day. It's like, okay, yeah, make a decision and then done. No. That enticement will be going on for a while, man. Just like the juice, with like a month or a whole year saying, have you taken it? 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 That's the point. So that's how much more that they'll do in the when the mark of the beast actually comes. So that's why we have to pray for strength to Yahweh Hashem Yashai so that we reject it. And hence why some of us were going to be killed as well. And rightfully so. Because straight after, we're going to go to Yahushua in the spirit realm. Yaratazah, if it be so that we be the ones killed. Or some of us may be as pilgrims, remember. We're going to go up to Yahushua and then we finished the work properly, in a respectful manner. We've died for the truth. Which is obviously reverence unto Yahushua. So it says, free and bond. So all manner of people, whether you're in the prison, a free man, you got riches, you ain't got riches, or a nobody, they're going to say you got to take a mark in your right hand or in the forehead. The forehead representing the brain. That's the Neuralink chip. That's the one right there on the forehead. The right hand, you can stack it onto the DARPA chip, that microchip implant. If you want to search up something, go to search up Sweden microchip implant. Then you see something there. I think there's also other countries as well. But Sweden's the predominant one that's pushing it. That's like the tester. So, and verse 17, and that no man might buy yourself save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So, of course, the point being is without that implant, you can't buy anything. So that would be a major indicator to know that yes, that's the mark of the beast, which is the chip implant. Because all type of commerce and transactions will go through the implant because Esau wants to track everything. He wants to be like the Most High. Hence his God complex being described in Isaiah 14, verse 14. It says, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had a mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. As you know, the forehead implant. I said forehead. The forehead again representing the head, the brain implant, and the hand implant as well. All that being the worship of the beast. Alright, so here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. So that's Revelation 13, verse 18. You know, the number 666 representing the beast system, man. You know, which is again the NATO and the EU being the beast. So read that 666. If you break it down, it goes into the Greek letters chi, sty, and stigma. You know, which actually break. Let me show you in the blue letter quickly. Yaratazar. Chi, sty, and stigma. If you research it in the Greek alphabet. So Revelation 13, verse 18. Just bear with me. So as you can see here, this is the root word for, if you actually go to the blue letter, let me show you something quickly, hold on. So this is Revelation 18. You know, Revelation 18, if you then click tools, hold on. If you click tools, you're in the interlinear, right now. Then if you scroll down, which really is the last part right there, you can see the chi sty sigma. You know, that last part right there. You know, so hold on. So yeah, scroll down. Then you go to that last part there where it says 666. You know, right there, the last part, you can see the chi, sty, stigma, man. You know, and that's the root Greek word for 600, 3 and 6, which is 666. You know, the 3 sixes. So if you then click on the root word, let me click on it. So you click on the root word, then you can see it clearly right there, man. The X looking letter is chi. That number, that reverse 3 is the sty, and then that letter C somewhat is stigma, which, hold on, Salakia, which really, you know, chi, sty, stigma, I keep trying to scroll on the phone, but through the one I'm recording, that's why I keep making that mistake. But yeah, that chi, sty, stigma, if you then go into hold on. Which goes into really 666. If you then go into the actual hold on. The actual root meanings, the Greek etymology, you know, for let's get chai first. You know, chai just means X marks the spot. You know, etymology online, where it says the 22nd letter of the Greek alphabet representing the k sound, or ch or ch sound. The letter is shaped like an X, so the Greek letter name was used figuratively to signify such a shape or arrangement. And it says, as in chiasma, it says two things placed crosswise, arranged diagonally, marked with an X. And it says here, chiazine, to mark with an X, to write the letter X. So it's basically X marks the spots. That's what the chai represents. You know, to mark something. That's what chai represents. Now let's get to sty, you know, which is the second one. The one that looked like a reverse 3. So sty it says in the AI overview, when you type up sty Greek etymology, it says in modern Greek, sty is a prepositional contraction meaning to the or in the. Now watch it, watch this. Now let's get to stigma. So sty means in the, X, well chai means X marks the spot. You know, mark it with X, marked with X. Sty means in the or to the. You know, it says in the. Now stigma, it says in the AI overview, the word stigma originates from the ancient Greek word stigma, which meant a mark, dot, or puncture. So if you combine those root meanings, chai meaning X marks the spot, you know, mark the spot with X. Sty means in the, and then you could say stigma means puncture as well. So you're marking by taking the MOTB, you're marking the point of which the chip will enter into the puncture of the skin. If you want to break it down that way, man. You know, it's like I know Apostle Paul also used the example, you know, in his Revelation 13 breakdown where you know, you had when man and woman have sex, you know, the man cuts the woman, you know, a virgin, of course, you know, in order to with his rod, essentially. That's essentially the act of sex, you know, hence some that bleeding would then happen. So that's the cutting motion, you know, that the man does to the virgin woman. So the same way that happens there, you know, where sex is mentioned, because sex also goes in its original word, it means to cut. Let me see if I can get down quickly. So AI overview says the word sex originates from the Latin word sexus, meaning a sex state of being either male or female. But there was another one where it mentions here, Proto-Indo-European root sexus, meaning to cut off or sever, man. So of course, again, going back to that, the root word in Greek for 603 saw 6, which is 666, chai sty stigma just means to mark the spot, which will be used with a puncture to implant the chip, man. That's what it is. So you can't really get about that, man. That's how, you know, as the scripture says, study to show that self-approve. You need to study this and get it breaking down to actually understand it's the implant. It can't be anything else but the implant. Because even the letters themselves is giving you a message through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahshai. Chai, X marks the spot in the skin. Sty, in the, so you mark the spot in the skin or to the skin, and then you're going to have a puncture, which is stigma. You know, that's what it means. A dot, a puncture as well. So they're going to puncture the skin to implant the flipping chip, man. So that's it, man. That's really it. That's it, because and the answers are that you've got the message, man. That's the point. They got the understanding. So again, simple point. Mark of the beast. That's that chip implant. Neuralink, DARPA. Point is, that shit shouldn't be going under your skin. You know, so you know, Yaratazar, they edified. You know, I'm gonna say Shalom, Yahba Shim Yashab Brakatha. Kahalayim La Yahba Shim Yashab Bashir Kodash, and double honest to greatness and apostles. Thali Yashai, for the understanding of these scriptures, and Yaratazar that you've also understand too. So Brakatha Yah Brakatha Yahweh Shai. Shalom.